All right, today we have an amazing guest, and you have a topic that is very interesting that I want to get dive into. Can you introduce to yourself who you are to the audience, please, my friend Ron?
Sure, this is Ron Ray Colombo. I'm a psychic and energy healer. I've been doing that work for over 20 years. Johnny was kind enough to invite me onto his show today. I believe we're going to work a little question and answers, so I'm ready to help out the audience in any way I can.
So, how did you, first of all, how did you get into this field? And I'm talking about psychic. How did you develop the psychic ability?
Well, it was a long road, Johnny. So in my 20s, I lived in Hawaii and was kind of open up to the spirituality of all that is in the world. From there, I moved back to the Bay Area where I'm from and continued to read a lot of books. Back in the day, this is before the internet, so these were hard copy books, early books by Edgar Casey, Florence Scovel Shen, metaphysical books, going through religious books. So that started my awakening in my 20s. Formal training came much later. I was early 30s, and I took a formal class in the Bay Area, 2-year program as a psychic and energy healer.
That's so powerful. What led you like reading all these books?
Just curiosity. I'm going to say right off the bat, I was born and raised Roman Catholic, and by the age of 16, 17, 18, I was questioning a lot of things to do with that religion. And as I grew, just to read more, explore more. In college, took some different classes on religious studies, and just opened a whole world of different possibilities, more in the line of spirituality. Again, it's amazing you and I are communicating like this today, but you got to remember, there wasn't much going on, and this is the early 80s, going into the 90s, again before the internet. So exploration was propelled by self, and it was mostly done by reading, maybe chasing down some early workshops or other people that were in the spiritual or metaphysical arena.
Can you explain, because you keep referring metaphysical, what you mean by metaphysical for those who are either beginning and trying to go into the metaphysical and the psychic realm?
Okay, metaphysical covers a gigantic amount of information. Metaphysical would be anything from energy work, meditation, out of body experience. I mean, metaphysical really covers just an amazing amount of work back in the day. When I say spirituality versus religion, it is the spirit within, the source within, instead of any kind of formal religion itself.
I see for that. I thank you. But it seems you see, you have lived a life that's different from other our what was it, younger generation now. And I heard the same story a little bit from. I look up this guy and look up to this guy, right? And he said the same thing. There was no like internet like this, and he had to go like find like what was it, books and hardcover books, right? And so, what do you see what did you see back then, like the educational system? Because it's still pertaining to like the way that the whole they wouldn't be you couldn't find yourself in the situation in the educational system. What do you see in that?
Well, relating to your question, to go back in time a little bit, so I explored Eastern philosophies, Maharishi one of the books was he was one of the early founders of transcendental meditation, popularized. A few of the Beatles went, and some other rock stars who were a little bit older than me. That was kind of more 70s genre, but that was right behind me. So just hearing, reading different things, and exploring. It was more exploration of books that you picked up. Someone said Edgar Casey was a seer in the early 1900s. Florence Scovel Shen, I referred to both of them. They were early 1900s. So word of mouth. It was smaller groups, meditation groups. I delved into Buddhism a little bit, which even in the 80s was very small in the United States. So I don't know if that answered your question, but
Well, I mean, also yes, it answers like the whole. I realized that these whole finding. Were you trying to find the truth of it all? Like, because I remember back in the time when I was spiritually awakened, I was so hungry to find the truth, to seek out. Like you said, you were talking about you question a lot of things, and I question reality. I question school. I question a lot of things that wasn't really uh, seem to be right. Like, how can we live in this world that we have this capacity to draw the reality in? Can you explain that?
yeah, I think I know where you're going with this one. Um, it's very difficult when people first open to I'm going to say source, the spirituality within. People use different labels. I like to say creator, source, God. It's kind of a blanket for whatever you believe in. As you open up, there's so much information, but what I see, it's a lot of the same information repeated in different ways. So when people open up, I tell them find what resonates for you. Whether it's a certain way to meditate, maybe they have an astrology chart done, maybe they have their first psychic reading. It's what's in your gut, it's what you are drawn to, because there is no basic roadmap when you wake up, so to speak, and go, what is the meaning of life? That's a pretty big question for anybody. People know that they aren't happy with what they've been taught. They aren't happy with the programming that they've been given since their youth. So as they wake up, I really tell people let their gut, let their third chakra guide them in the hellos that they get, in the book that they read, in the article they read, in the YouTube video, or a person, a particular video that they follow. So it's not as easy as you found. You want to make changes, you want to find answers. Well, who's telling the truth and who's not telling the truth? So it's really who each individual resonates with, and it's a step-by-step journey. It's not all of a sudden I wakened and I realize I'm a part of all that is, all that was, and all that ever will be, and now you get this set of rules and I can go live my life happily ever after. It just doesn't work that way. It's a journey. Even though there's more information now and more people talking about spirituality, the metaphysical, meditation, yoga, we could lump all these things together. There is no one right way. To find the way, as the Buddhists would say, you have to look inward, and each way is different for each individual person.
That is so beautiful. I'm distracted also by the red. What is that in your background? The red. What is that?
I can't even see what you're looking at here. So in the
The red. Like, can you turn your head around? The red.
okay. Oh, I that is a handmade Buddhist. Um, it's a handmade Buddhist representation of the seven chakras. that I got. I did a journey to Nepal in the year, it was right around the year 1999, 2000. And I spent a month in Nepal, and I was focused on learning Buddhism, but I was opened by some pretty enlightened teachers um, how to bring information about meditation back to the West at the time and how to teach meditation. That's a little bit different than was going on at that time.
Mm, okay. I was thinking about, since we're talking about Buddhism, it seems like you know quite a lot about Buddhism. Did you went to? Because I want to know because I want to visit. Uh, uh, what was it? Where Buddha was born, right? I remember one of my friends. She said back in boarding school, she's like, because I was born in a family that was raised as Buddhists, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, Buddha is God, and I was like, no, Buddha is a prince, right? And I was like, no, he's just basically what he's saying is like just learn from him, but don't worship him. Just take his teaching and apply it in your life, you know.
Absolutely, Johnny. There's been many masters. Uh, the original Buddha that you speak of was a prince who gave up all of that to seek enlightenment. So there have been many enlightened beings that have walked the earth, and I like your analogy of don't worship them. They wouldn't want you to worship them anyway, but to learn from them, learn from their words, learn from their deeds, learn from their actions, and then put that into principle. So I like that way you said also.
Thank you so much, and thank you for taking the time to do an interview with me. And I apologize. My screen didn't work, and I want to take the time to say I'm sorry about that. And
Oh no,
also,
no problem. That I didn't mean to jump over you, but that was me more than you. So I wasn't ready to go with the camera. So hey, we're here and now. This is supposed to be so I'm excited. I like fielding questions. I know you're open to interpretation. Everybody's a little bit different.
well, I mean, because
So what
it's,
else?
cool. Well, the reason why I'm so open because I like to be able to help you as an individual to because a lot we live in this world that we care. Like I want to show people that you care, everybody else care, why you do the thing that you do, and that's what the foundation of Buddhism too. I think that they have the eight, what was it, the eightfold path or something, right? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember, but he said I used to like read lots of the principle of Buddhism, like right action, right thinking,
Yep.
um, and I forgot the other one, but it's been so long because I dug deep a little bit.
Right thought. You're on it. You're on it. You got it.
Yes. Um, and did you dive deep a little bit deep into the occult world? You like for
Well, I got involved early on. I was doing transcendental meditation early on as I was in my late 20s, early 30s, and then from there delving a little bit into Buddhism. And then at that time also, I picked up a book, Robert Monroe, and out of body experiences. So there's a couple of different Robert Monroe books, and it's a deeper meditation when you have separation from your spirit and your physical body when you go into meditation, and you can actually be guided or guide yourself to go into different dimensions, ask questions, etc. So I kind of incorporated those three core principles into a meditation practice. And then from that meditation practice into formal training as a psychic, as a clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, and then also as an energy healer. So it didn't happen overnight. That was actually almost a 7 year span and a lot of practice. It's like anything else. How do you want to be good at something? It's practice. That's why I really stress to beginners or people that have meditated before that you have to put in 15 minutes a day minimum just to quiet the mind, just to breathe, just to connect to what I call source. So it just doesn't happen overnight. You could watch as many videos, get as many books, go to many seminars, go to a lot of workshops. But unless you put in the time day in and day out, um, you're really never going to advance. And that's the tough thing about meditation. There is no magic bullet. There is no magic book. There is no magic video that tells you how to do it. It's basically just quieting your mind and breathing. So that's kind of how that evolved for me.
Yes, you're right with that. You're absolutely right. There will be like no book and no nothing. You have to do it yourself. Like it's like your dreams, right? You know, often we want this to happen, but we don't do it, right? It's like that. Um,
Yeah, it's very frustrating. I've been working with individuals now for over 20 years, and they get I call answers, the hellos that people get from their higher self or guides, and I could give people the exact answers they're looking for, but unless they put those into practice, nothing is really going to change. And then they're going to call me in 6 months and say nothing has changed, and they've put nothing in practice. So that part of it, having done it so long, has become a little bit frustrating for me. Everybody's on their own journey; they go their own pace, and I allow them that. But it's just frustrating that sometimes I have to shake people to the core. It's a waste of your time and money to continue asking me these questions, getting the same answers, and not putting them into practice, and then keep calling me and asking me why. So that part of it's a little bit frustrating. And it's not just the new generation. It's not what we call the millennials. I have clients that are 55, 65 years old that are doing the same thing. So everybody wants the answers, and then when they get them, they're not willing to turn right on their path. They want to continue to go left. So it's kind of interesting.
uh, yeah, I know where you come from. I, it frustrates me, right? It really does frustrates me because for example, today I just found out that there was an amazing lady. It's hard when it's everyone, right? I have a friend, and then just today I messaged a lady who thought the Instagram or hashtag doesn't work anymore, but it does work, and it's really hard to. For example, I use YouTube, and not many older generation like Facebook. They're comfortable because that's the strength. But I if they're only paying attention to Facebook, right, then they're not getting other audience that could check them out. And this is where you found me on Instagram, right, with the videos,
Yes. Yeah.
and that's the only reason. And for my friend, it was frustrating. He kept coming to answer, and he know everything, right? And it was frustrating. And I was like, you know the answer, you just apply it in your life. But I think that's a message to us all, right? Sometimes we either fall off the wagon and we have to go back into it too, because that's what happened to me, right? I have to go back into it again. It's never easy.
No, and it's part of our journey. One of the strengths that I believe I have is neutrality. Neutrality in most situations. So I share with you my frustration of helping others, but having said that, allowing them to go through their journey even if the energy is frustrating to me, sometimes people need to do that 2, 3, 4, 5, 19, 20 different times, so allowing people on their journey. But the people that are more frustrating, that I mean, they're intense, they want to learn, they want to do it, they want to do what it takes, to become spiritual, to have the answers. And then you give them the answer, okay, I got that, and then they're looking for another one, and they haven't even digested the answer that's going to point them in the right direction. So it's interesting, and it's not just youthful people, as I stated before. It's people in their late teens that I deal with, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and my oldest client now is about 86 years old. So it's very interesting.
How can we help them and guide them, even if it frustrates us? That's the one thing that I want to know.
You continue to try to, if you look at a vibration of where someone is, and if they're sitting, I'm going to explain it in the chakras. If they're excuse me, if they're sitting in a lower vibration, first, second, third chakra, and they're in that heavy energy of it's never going to work, why does it always happen to me? What you try to do when working with people on an energy level is clearing the blocks that they have, so they can understand the message when it's presented either by me or a book or a video or anyone else. Because you've heard the example, the person can't hear that, or the person is not ready to hear that. So the information is higher information. It's higher vibrational information, where you tell someone that is not matching that energy, and they might say, "There's no way I could do that," or "There's no way that could even be." I don't believe that. Instead of hearing the message and maybe exploring that, wow, this could be true, this blows all the pictures that I ever thought about this certain thing, whether it be religion, whether it be politics. It doesn't matter, because you're giving them a different perspective on a higher vibrational level. And when they could get to that higher vibrational level, they could not only hear the message, but they could apply it to their life and start to make those changes.
I see. And in your whole, when you're, does this fulfill you when you're like inspiring and helping people? What make you want to do this? What make you want to help people?
Um, I got into it because I wanted answers like you, and then I just delved further and further and further and developed my gift. And it was very fulfilling to be able to share with someone that was hurting over, whatever the situation was, whether a death of a loved one, a broken relationship, illness, whatever I was working with people. So the fulfillment was always there. And as I got deeper and deeper, it's really not my job to heal anyone. It's my job to help them heal themselves. So that has changed over the years. There's still a huge fulfillment in helping others find the path that they are on, find the path that is comfortable for them, shed blocks that may be in their path, and helping them. I mean, there's just no better feeling than helping someone help themselves on a small level, up to amazing turnarounds that I've seen over a 20-year period. So, Johnny, it's all about helping people. You're helping people by doing your video chats and getting the word out there and asking questions. And I commend you for that. I mean, how good does that feel? Sharing that knowledge and sharing that with people you may have never met. It's just a great feeling to be able to help others.
You're absolutely right. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate your kind words. And I was thinking about how we live in a world that's since we you live in America, you know the shootings. It's it's hard to watch it, and I want to be able to put that out. You know, to be able to say, you know, they're good people. I don't care what it is. I think that we all have flaws. We're not we're not saints, but you know, we love people. You know, and thank you for doing what you do. And
Yeah.
you know, I was thinking about when you did you see that you would be doing this work or you didn't?
Um, I've always been a natural counselor of others at a very, very young age. I always had the natural gift of listening, of being able to read people, and I go back even before my teens. So that was always a natural gift for me to be able to help others listen, look at their issue, and maybe give them some hellos or different ideas of what they could be doing to help them. So that has always been there. Having got into the metaphysical world and trained with some amazing psychics and energy healers that I've kept into contact with and who I've met, some from all over the world, I've gotten great hellos of what my path is and kind of small peaks of the journey I'm on.
Did you ever had a hard time like going through your journey?
Always growth experiences. Everybody in life thinks that we just we're on cloud nine, but I'm no different than anybody else. My perspective might be a little bit different, but at the end of the day, I live in the 3D world with bills and family members with illness and different things around me. So I look at those a little bit different, but the journey is all about the growth. We continue to grow. The one thing that's constant in life is that we continue to grow. So myself in my 20s is night and day of what I am now at the age of 55. So continual growth, continual challenges on different levels. So I don't think anybody hits easy street and just cruises. That's the programming that the media puts on us. They show us certain people's lives or people that we look up to. It's kind of programming. If you ask anybody, they have ups and downs their whole life. So I want to communicate that to anybody watching this. Do not judge yourself by those around you at all because your journey, your life is a totally different story than theirs. Certainly don't judge yourself by anybody you see in the media because that's pure programming and a lot of non-truths are in there. And don't judge yourself by your family or friends or even the close people to you. Your life is your life. You make it what it is. And it's not about the dollar, it's not about looks, the job you have, the spouse you have, the kids you have. Even though we're so similar as human beings, and I'm talking around the world, I've been fortunate enough to travel around the world a little bit. We are all so different. So please don't judge yourself, the viewers that are out there, in any way, shape, or form, and comparing yourself to others or where you should be.
That is so powerful. Thank you so much for that. When it comes to, I was thinking about. Oh yeah, you were talking about what was it Scoville Shin? Because I would like to dive deep into the law of attraction a little bit. Um, because she talked about the law of attraction too. Can you talk about what is to you? What is the law of attraction?
Well, the basic law of attraction is that like attracts like. I followed Esther and Jerry Hicks. I've been to several in person of their seminars. They really popularized the law of attraction. Um, so the law of attraction that states that a vibration that you carry, or an intention that you set forth, will manifest within your life, is the basic principles of that. And I understand those basic principles. But at the same time, you have to be 100% clean within your vibration, or there's a lot of frustrations within the law of attraction. And I think where a lot of people miss the mark or miss the concept of it is, I think gratefulness or gratitude is more powerful than the law of attraction itself, because as you live a life of gratitude, no matter how simple that gratitude is, that you have air to breathe, that you have water to drink, that you have food to eat, as you sit in that gratitude and then use the laws of attraction to try to attract more, you are shown that by the law of attraction. You will be shown more experiences to validate what you want to create as a creator in the moment of now.
As we talk about that, as we talk about the law of attraction, ask what was it? Ask was it? What's his
Es-
name? Esther
Es-
Hicks. Yeah,
Esther Hicks, yeah, Esther Hicks channels a group of beings called Abraham, and it was her husband Jerry and her that started out with small readings, explored this, and then over the last 30 years, she travels around the United States and gives workshops tuned in, channeling the guide Abraham, and tunes in and answers people's questions relating to the laws of attraction.
I remember I was reading the what was it? Either is Ask is Given,
Yep,
and there was an intro or like a I can't remember. It's been a long time. I haven't gone back. I remember that what was it? Yeah, because I forgot his name. Jerry Hicks read Think and Grow Rich,
yep,
and I remember also what was it? Gene something? I can't remember. Robert something. Robert Gene. I never actually picked up the book. I can't remember, but it was about like, I can't remember. But for you, how you use the law of attraction?
clear intention. Clear intention is how I use it. Clear intention is how I teach it. I think using the laws of attraction each and every day, we create in the moment of now. So each and every morning is a new day. So setting a simple, clear intention for your day. Today I'm going to drive safe. If you're on the road and in a car, today I will travel safe. Today I will be open to all opportunities, helping others help themselves, and accepting help from others. I will, if it's business related for you, today I'm going to do the best that I can on my interview. That's your clear intention for that day. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to set clear intention. I'm not going to have computer glitches. We're going to get on. We're going to do a wonderful interview. So as spirits within a body, we create in the moment of now. So every day, by setting clear intention of what you'd like to create in your life, allows the law of attraction to start to do its job. And by doing smaller things and then every day expecting those smaller things, then they grow and grow and grow. And then as you have gratitude for the smaller things and you practice this day in and day out, that's where you see your life to shift. And that's where it all incorporates into the law of attraction. I'm grateful. I expect to have wonderful experiences. I expect to have wonderful, healthy food on my table. I expect to have fresh water. Not so true for other places in the world. We are very lucky in the United States. We take a lot for granted. So, but by being grateful, setting clear intention, and allowing the laws of attraction to work for you, those three vibrations come together to really lift your energy vibration.
Woo! That is so powerful. I love it. I love it. I was thinking a lot why I was thinking what's I'm so passionate about trying to uplift people who are in the law of attraction. I think that also because you talk about practice in the you in this talk that we talk, and you talk about practice, and so oftentimes I feel like people watch the video, like you said, people read books, people you know go to seminars, but they don't do anything with it, and that's why it frustrates the law of attraction sometimes when people like these type of things, but they don't actually do it.
Oop, are we off the air?
No, no,
There we go.
like I said, like that's why I'm so passionate.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so passionate. Like um, why, like you said, practice, right? When you're using the law of attraction, it's about practice.
Yes. Absolutely yes to that. I'm going to interject one thing that I learned long ago, that nothing new has been really written or said in the last 10,000 years of the recorded language going back to the Sumerians. So it's said in different ways, but nothing, no concepts, nothing is really new in the world of spirituality, metaphysical, if we have to label it. So these concepts are told over and over again by some very wonderful people, very enlightened beings, high energy beings that are out there for people to understand. So again, what I want your audience to hear is that's why you have to feel it inward. Whether you're working with a spiritual counselor, whether you're in a religion, and there's nothing wrong with being in a religion if you are comfortable in that religion. That's the right place for you to be at that time. Again, everybody is different. They're right where they should be, or they'd be somewhere else. But back to the thought that nothing new has been written or said since recorded time is kind of mind blowing, and a lot of people right off the top of the bat will call BS on that. But as you delve into the works of a book that was written, Think and Grow Rich, you know, in the 20s. Florence Scovel Shen's concepts are very similar concepts that Louise Hay took further, that are concepts that Abraham Hicks, through her channeled information, took further. There are many, many different teachers, and I'm not saying they stole it in any way, shape, or form. They're just explaining the information in a different way, and by explaining it in a different way, different people are able to hear the same information. And again, so important to trust your gut, trust yourself, that information resonates with you. Because, Johnny, your truth is different than my truth. We could agree on a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, your truth is your truth, and my truth is my truth. So I just want you to hear that, and I want your audience to hear that also. Um, Always listen to your inner guidance.
You are absolutely right. That's why. That's what you know. That's why I realized this whole interview is about you. Like no, as a whole. Like becoming more of who you are, right? And the truth of how we should live our life by our own making. Because I hear you talk about a lot about everyone is different, that everyone has their own truth, and then they have their own path, right?
Hmm.
And so that is so powerful, right? And you're absolutely right. Um, we have different perspective of life and how we see life because we have different experiences. I
Correct.
appre- I appreciate that. And
Beautiful. That's real. We're talking about a lot of esoteric things that sometimes we can't touch or feel, but what you said is you have your experiences on spirituality, and your truth is based on that for you. And even though you and I are much alike, I have my experiences of spirituality, and my truth is based on that. So we could be very, 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 very similar, and yet at the same time, we have to honor our own truths. So I mean, what you locked into, that's I'm going to give that back to you. That's beautiful.
thank you. Speaking of spirituality, this whole talk we talk about spirituality, but we never actually that deep. What is spirituality to you?
Spirituality to me is, in this given lifetime that's going on right now, I am a spirit in a male body, and I have a spirit. I have a spirit that is my higher self, that simultaneously is living many other lifetimes. But my focus is here as a spirit, as a higher self within the body I have, having experiences that relate to what's going on around me now.
It seems like you're very observant of your environment.
I'm going to say yes to that.
So how can we become more aware of our environment since you're very aware of your environment?
What you do very good at, listening to others is the first step, is listening to others, is stepping back and not making decisions in 3 seconds or less, being as neutral as you can, um, to not only people, but the environment around you, not making snap judgments. So the Buddhists call it, and different religions call it, to become the observer. You're watching yourself watch others. That's the ultimate observer mode. So just being conscious of it, Johnny, just being conscious of the give and take that you and I have today. You put out your idea, and I respond to it, and you listen to it, and the flow that we have going back is very natural and higher vibrational, and there's no judgment in our space whatsoever. Now, if you or I went downtown right now and it's busy and it's lunchtime and people are bumping India, and the guy cuts in line because he has to be back to work, and the woman, whatever different things go on, I call that the 3D world, not the spiritual world. And it's a little tougher to have conversation between two people. It's a little tougher to hold that higher vibration when you have all of these crazy things going on in the 3D world, and then put on that your phone with texts and phone calls and everything else. There's so much going on. So it's stepping back and consciously being as neutral as you can to situations around you without making, I use the term, snap judgments on anything.
That is powerful. Snap judgment. That's today that I learned. Snap judgment. That's like wow. That's very interesting. Yeah, and I was thinking about mindfulness because the observer is. I think I can't. I've read it before, but it keeps slipping away. But I think Buddha has it too for like mindfulness. I don't know, but we're talking about observe, right? And to be able to step back, to be able to see. Um,
It goes hand in hand. The energy of being the observer, the energy of mindfulness. Again, you know, people use different words to explain different things. So, you know, you're right on it with the word mindfulness. Just stepping back and allowing things to happen around you without judgment, and having to engage, always having to be the one that's engaged. I have to do this, I have to do that. No, you don't. Let's let it unfold a little bit. Let's give it more than 3.2 seconds. You know, so that's one of the things that, in the age of text, when I give my readings, and I do a lot of relationship readings over the years, um, text could be so taken out of context, and also when you're angry or passionate, you know, you're firing back these texts back and forth, and you don't even give yourself a minute to think about what you're doing. That's just one example of not being mindfulness. That's one example of being, what I like to say, a knucklehead.
well, I was thinking about the subconscious. You're unconscious of what you're, or you're unaware of what you're doing. I think that's also. Well, I mean, I okay. So I sent a lot of emails to a lot of authors. So it's because they're so busy, and I'm even though they don't like it, or even well, not that they don't like it. I don't know if they like it or not, but I think that every time I see that, every time we're speaking of the law of attraction here, right? I believe that we can live our dreams based upon what we want inside of our heart. Now, people don't believe that their dream can come true. So that's why I make it my mission to be able to say, hey, your dream can come true. Just that it takes time. And also, how do you overcome your, do you have any fear in how you overcome it?
Staying in present time. I think one of the most important things you could do if you have a meditation practice, or throughout the day if things get overwhelming, is just breathing in through your nose the energy of present time, and exhaling out through your mouth any and all fear energy. And doing that, when I have beginners that haven't really meditated or don't have a formal meditation practice, that's where we start, because it starts in present time. You have to get rid of the mind chatter. You have to get what happened yesterday, what you think is going to happen tomorrow, and what's going on right now. So it's all about present time. So slowly breathing in present time through your nose, and exhaling out any and all fear energy 2 or 3 times. Something you could do in a formal meditation, something you could do 3 times if you're in a stressful situation during the day and you're overloaded, especially people that have panic attacks or on the verge of panic attacks. Just dropping yourself into present time, because the past energy is so heavy, and the future energy a lot of times is so misguided, and we slip into fears on both sides, in the past and in the future. To your question, I'm very fortunate, um, that there really isn't anything at this point in my life, that I'm afraid of.
That's, um, huh. But for me, I have lots of fear. That's why I wanted to be able to help a lot of people. That's why I think that's why I asked a lot of questions about it. Thank you so much for that. And also, what does success look like to you?
I miss that, Johnny. My bulldog snoring in the background. What was the question?
What was it? What does success look like to you?
Success has definitely shifted. The energy of success and has definitely shifted. It looked different in my 20s than it did in my 30s, looked different in my 30s than it did in my 40s. And now success to me is what I'm going to leave behind. That is going to be success to me. Success to me is the time that I'm able to spend with family and friends. That's success to me. I have a granddaughter that just turned 4 years old. Consciously, even if I'm babysitting her for an hour, I learn so much from her. Success to me is consciously making that hour and being 100% there for that hour. That would be success to me. But success really doesn't have to do with numbers anymore. And I was raised in that number generation. So I've really shifted. So success is, in a nutshell, what I'm able to do for others and leave behind, and the enjoyment of life itself, whether it be with people or situations of nature or anything like that. That to me, the ability to enjoy that is pure success.
Or you, why do you want to leave a legacy? That's why I hear.
I I think that's why we're all here on the planet. We're here to learn things. This is a big classroom. So we're here to learn things. So the legacy that I want to leave behind is over time, not right away. I'm not a saint by any means, and in my teens and in my 20s, I was a dick like everybody else in some situations. So, um, we're here to learn. We're here to learn from experiences. We're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy life. I think we're here to help our fellow man. I think that's why you're here. I'm here. I think that's why everybody's here on the planet. So it's not so much me living my legacy or leaving a legacy. Excuse me. It's me over time, not in the last, not knowing this from an early age, but it's me understanding the importance of how precious life is, and helping others help themselves, and all the things that we've discussed today. So I don't look to leave a legacy, or need anything on my headstone, because I'm not going to go that route anyway. So that's a great question. You're making me think as we're speaking here, but we're all here to do the same thing. We're all here to have lessons, experiences. We're here to learn that we shouldn't label them good or bad. We're here to learn that we are different, and that's okay. We're here to learn that life is supposed to be fun. Life is not supposed to be hard. Life is supposed to be joyous, wonderful, and whatever that means to you, that's what you should be seeking out. And everybody's different. Everybody has a different joy in their life at a different time of their life. I mean, right now, my grandkids are a huge joy in my life, but you're too young to really understand that energy, and that's okay. But you'll get there someday, and hopefully you'll get to experience that too. But we're all so different. What is our joy of the moment? But I know that wasn't a very concise answer, but I'm going to stick with it.
That's so uh, that's what one of the, like you said, the present moment. That's why it's so present in the interview, right? And this is the my enjoyment, my be able to connect with people that are wanting to help other people, and I want to, for instance, today you get to express who you are too, to be able to smile. I like to be able to see people smile. On to make their day, right?
I'll
And
give.
that's. But what was it? Now I just lost my. Where can we find you on online or offline?
You could find me at ronraycolombo.com. I'm also on Instagram, Ron underscore Ray underscore Colombo, and it's spelled RonRayColombo. But the website has a lot of good information on it. I have a free guided meditation on there. I just added. I actually did a some instrumental stuff several years ago with artist Kenny Lee Baker. We did a lot of harmonic stuff with the energy of the chakras, but there is a free, excuse me, instrumental 20 minutes on there where you could just download it for free. And it's just a great intro because everybody should be sitting down and listening to instrumental music of your choice. It's what you resonate with. If that's all you do for your meditation, and even if you fall asleep within that 20 minutes, that's okay because your higher self is going to work. So anyway, ronraycolombo.com is a great place. From there, people could email me questions. They could schedule readings, different readings, different healings, and that's where I'm at, Johnny. ronraycolombo.com.
Thank you so much for today. I appreciate that you get on and sticking to it. Why did you decided to do an interview with me?
Why did I decide to do an interview with you?
Yeah.
That's easy. I mean, Instagram. Believe it or not, this is the first year that I have been on Facebook and Instagram. I had a website for. I've had a website. The new one's new. It's a couple years old, but my old website was ancient. I did it myself, and so I've had a website for about 12, 13 years. But what I'm going for is communication. I read energy. Well, I could read people's texts. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but if someone's sending me a text, I could tune into the energy of the person on the other end. So the minute that you sent me a greeting and you requested for me to be on your show, I could read your energy. I just could. I came all the way across the phone line to you, and just saw what a great spirit you are, and what you're doing, and it's something I really wanted to do for us, for both of us. You for your energy and getting the word out there. Me hopefully helping others help themselves. So I know another non-concise, long-winded answer, but I knew the minute the couple of texts I received from you that you are an honest person with integrity, that is doing something they love, and I wanted to be a part of that.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate the time you've been here, and I appreciate the gift that you give to people today, and I appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
Okay, my friend, we'll stay in touch, and yeah, maybe we'll do a crazy follow-up interview, and I'll interview you.
Okay, no problem. Subscribe to my channel, like my video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.